Hi, Daniel.
Hi, Pierre.
So, Daniel, we've done a few workshops together over the years. What I'd love to focus on now is the session we did late 21, the strategy workshop with your leadership team. Do you want to just say 2 words to so we know that so we all know who you are?
Sure. So I'm the Chief Product Officer of FRVR. I focus on building our product offering. And who is FRVR? We are a company that publish games on platforms everywhere, so in and outside the mobile app stores, on mobile phones, on PCs, etc. And we are a platform company, tech platform company, delivering games from creative studios out to all these different channels, being big partners such as Facebook, Samsung, Snapchat, etc., etc. And we are a fast-growing company with currently we are 100 employees, and we have grown over the last 12-18 months from around 20 employees, and we will grow another 150 in the coming 12 months. So that gives a number of challenges for us when onboarding so many team members and leaders into the company. The market itself is also a moving target. So how do we get people in, getting a really intrinsic understanding on the mission that we are on, our vision, and how we formulate the strategy, as well as navigate the market space with the dynamics that we are in. For that, I was looking for a way to really get to a place where the leadership team could not just intellectually get an understanding of the challenges that we are facing, but really build and internalize mental models of the world that we are in, and not on an individual level, but at a team level, where we could get that and build that alignment across the team, saying what is it that is important for us, what is it that we're navigating by, and there. Because, as you said, I've had some experiences with LSP in the past. It wasn't terribly difficult choice for me.
All right, good. So if you can expand a little bit on one part of what you said there, Daniel, as a leader, because we are the core leadership team there. Your 2 founders were there, but you as a leader, what do you feel you got from the workshop, from our 2 days?
I think, like, semantically, I think I would correct you here, Pierre, and say,
please.
It's less about what I got from it and what we got as a team. I think what we got as a team was, as I said, we are fast growing, also from a money perspective, revenue perspective. So a really important insight for us, as an example, is that our aspiration is not the money. And that was an insight that came with an enormous clarity. Like, money is an enabler, and you can intellectually say that a lot of times, but how is it that you react? And we got a physical model on the table, and we had a representation of the team looking at the money, and then we had a representation of the dream, and then it was a simple question in the group, and saying, what is more important to look at? Is it the money or the dream? What are we navigating after when we get everything else in this landscape to align? And the answer was super clear for everybody. It's like, oh, okay, but that's the vision. That's our aspiration, as we called it. And then as soon as we got that aspiration, we got all those mental challenges that you get day to day and saying, well, what about? And it just turned out, regardless of what question we asked, was the money is just an enabler. It enables us to do more to get to the bigger aspiration. So that doesn't mean that money is irrelevant, but the money is an enabler. It's like the air we breathe is an enabler for our life, but that's not why we get up in the morning.
So this, you know, and the other sort of closing sort of it's called aspirations that you got. How did you, or in which way did you manage to bring them back to work or implement in your day-to-day work?
We still reference the models that we built, or rather, the metaphors the models represent. We use them in our day-to-day language to create that alignment. We also had a model about some of the talent that we wanted. When do we compromise with some of our principles? And that actually made the principle stronger. And said, okay, but yeah, you can always challenge a principle, but a principle is only worth something if you stick to it. So is this the exception? No, it isn't. So a lot of the outcome of that workshop makes some of the leadership dialogues that we have day to day stronger and faster, because we have that shared alignment, we have that shared model we can reference. Also, weak spots on. So do we know our consumers, our players? Do we know them well enough? Do we need to do more to identify them? We know them really, really well, but can you ever get to know your consumers close enough? And in that sense, there's just so many of the aspects of that workshop that still lives with us today.
Excellent. So Daniel, just sort of a closing question here. When you look back at the work you and I did leading up to the workshop, the actual workshop, what happened afterwards, in our conversation now, is there a question I haven't asked you that I should have asked you? What's the question I'm missing?
So I think there is a difference between the conversations we had before the workshop and what we thought the objective, the most valuable objective out of that workshop, and what we got out of it. But I think the core strength of building that shared mental model, and therefore alignment across the team, also enabled us to during the workshop actually navigate to most value for the effort that we put into it when we were together. Like when you go into something like this as a team, you have to respect where the team is and what is important for the shared team, and that becomes really clear when you get that out on the table and in that model. So in that sense, we were able to, during the workshop, to actually navigate that and adjust and saying this is where we're going to focus, based on, of course, your experience and recommendation and facilitation. And I feel that really made it possible to not just when looking at the 2-day, not just okay, let's follow the process to the end and see what we get out of it, but navigate as the product on the table matured. Mm-hmm. And that to me felt very natural, and it was super easy to have that dialogue in the breaks. I think we had the dialogue over 2 breaks. Yeah. And have that dialogue and saying, okay, so what is the right thing to do here? Do we push the team because we want to get to a certain outcome, or do we hear where the team is and get most value out of that?
Yeah. Cool. Excellent. Thank you very much, Daniel. It's good to speak with you again.
You're welcome.